Hello guys, I am Acog and welcome to a guide to the M4A1 in 0.58. Now the M4 has been very hard to get in the last few months due to central loot economy being the way it is, but with 0.58 this beast of a weapon is now much easier to get your hands on. The M4A1, AUG, UMP, AK-101 and magazines all spawn in this officer's tent in 0.58, found in only 3 locations on the map, 1 at Mishkina tents and 2 towards the end of Northwest Airfield. But these weapons also spawn at American helicopter crash sites, which are now, thankfully, dynamic at existing spawn points. The M4A1 can be chambered and uses 5.56 rounds, which are only found where the M4 itself spawns, along with its 6 different magazines. The C-Mags first, which come in 10, 20, 30 and 40 variants, and the 30 round Stanag, which can come as a coupled variant up to 60 rounds in size. There are 6 different primary attachments, 5 different optics and 6 different secondary attachments that can be attached to the M4A1. However, only the base of the M4, primary attachments and the C-Mags can be spray painted black or green, but not camo. The M4A1 comes as standard in black with a plastic M4 handguard, OE buttstock and carry handle optic. You will find alternative primary attachments and optics in the same place that the M4 itself spawns. The 3 handguards for the M4 are the plastic M4 handguard, the MP handguard and the RIS handguard. The RIS handguard is the only handguard that allows the attachment of the bipod and weapon flashlight as secondary attachments. The other secondary attachments are the ghillie gun wrap, the M4A1 bayonet, which doesn't seem to be spawning, improvised suppressor, which only allows 2 shots to be silenced before it becomes ruined, and the NATO suppressor, allowing well over 100 shots to be silenced from pristine, but reduces accuracy slightly as a result. The 3 buttstocks are the standard OE buttstock, the MP buttstock and the CQB buttstock. All of the handguards and buttstocks have different stats, which we will get into later. The 5 optics are the M4 carrier handle, which comes as standard, backup iron sights or BUIS, M68 optics, which requires a 9V battery to turn on the dot in the center, RDS optics, which doesn't require a 9V battery at the moment for some reason, and the Acog Optics. The only one of these optics to improve stats is the Acog, reducing dispersion slightly, but the Acog also provides the most amount of zoom, whereas the M68 and RDS optics give more zoom than standard, and the carry handle and BUIS are at default zoom. Now, the backup iron sights does give you more peripheral vision compared to the carry handle, but doesn't allow you to zero any more than the carry handle lets you, which is up to 300 meters, where the M68 and RDS optics zero up to 400 meters and the Acog zeros all the way up to 700 meters. Which optic you use is based on the situation you're in and which optic you prefer, but you can always have no optic attached without affecting the M4's stats too much. Now, which buttstock and handguard you use will be based on your personal preferences and the situation at hand, but the standard attachments are good enough to get the job done in most situations, given that your target is within 300 meters, because like I said, the carry handle only zeroes up to 300 meters. For the handguard, the standard plastic handguard is the worst of the 3 for increasing accuracy, and the MP handguard is the best for improving the M4's accuracy, with the RAS handguard somewhere in between those 2. However, the RAS handguard is the only handguard that allows you to attach the bipod to the M4. The bipod, when attached, improves accuracy a lot more than just having the MP handguard on your M4. So the RAS handguard bipod combo is the best for improving accuracy on the M4. On top of this, while prone and the bipod is deployed, you have 0 recoil apart from a slight pull to the right, which is incredibly OP. As for the buttstocks, the MP buttstock is the best for improving accuracy, and the CQB buttstock is the worst for improving accuracy, with the standard OE buttstock being somewhere in between those 2. However, the CQB buttstock reduces the turn speed of the M4 drastically, as shown here. This makes the M4, while the CQB is attached at least, the fastest turning 2-handed weapon in the game, turning at the same speed as all pistols, another OP trait. Be aware that no other attachment for the M4 affects turn speed quite like the CQB buttstock, and when you have a bipod attached, it doesn't seem to affect the turn speed of the M4 at all, at least it wasn't noticeable from my tests. Now, before I knew this information, I always went with the MP attachments for accuracy, as I'm sure a lot of other players did out there. But now I would recommend the RAS handguard with bipod and the CQB buttstock as attachments, making for the best attachment combo possible in the M4A1, because as we all know, turning with most weapons feels like you're whipping around a cooked piece of spaghetti in DayZ Standalone. For those that disagree and believe that the MP attachments are best for the M4A1, here is a shot at 600 meters with no attachments on the M4A1 at all, apart from the Acog scope. The effective range of the M4 is 720 meters with the Acog, 420 meters with the RDS or M68 optics, and 320 meters with the backup iron sights, carry handle, or no optic at all, even without primary attachments attached to the M4A1. However, if you want your M4 to be the most accurate it can possibly be in DayZ, here is the best attachment combo. The Acog scope, RES handguard with bipod, MP buttstock and no silencer. Not that it makes a noticeable difference compared to any other attachment combo. Here is a reload animation of the M4A1. The M4A1 fires roughly 12 rounds per second and has a single fire mode and a full auto fire mode toggled with T by default. But you probably won't need to switch to the single shot fire mode, as the M4 has easy to control recoil as shown here, with and without fighting the recoil. As for damage, as we previously tested, the 5.56 round one-shots players at close range in the chest, back or head and penetrates most surfaces in game. Compared to other guns that use the same round, the 5.56 round, the AUG lacks a close and long range effectiveness with its fixed zeroing, and the AK-101 only has one magazine compared to the 6 magazines that the M4A1 has. This means you are likely to find 6 M4 magazines before you find a single AK-101 magazine because they share the same spawn points. Not to mention the PSO1 scope is now very rare. Compared to the rest of the AK family, the AKM has a silly amount of recoil at the moment, so it's not a competitor of the M4, and the AK-74 and AKS-74U lack the damage that the M4A1 pumps out. So, in conclusion, because the M4 has easy to control recoil, has an epically fast turn speed with a CQB buttstock, fires 12 rounds per second, is the most customizable gun in the game, isn't that rare anymore, and has zero recoil with a bipod while prone, it stands out as the best single weapon in DayZ Standalone at the moment. It's certainly a new favourite of mine, but not because of the stuff that I've just listed, but because of how incredibly versatile the M4A1 is compared to other weapons in DayZ Standalone. Thank you for watching, good luck finding yours, and I will see you in the next video.